Peace and light, family. Here to talk to you about a real serious issue that is plaguing our nation very rapidly right now, and it's in the form of mental health. I'm Chris, the Alkaline Man, owner of Family Springs Alkaline Water, and the way mental health is affecting us, it's affecting us as a nation, right? It doesn't care whether you old or young, whether you white or black, doesn't care whether you rich or poor, right? It's really a disease that is a condition that is plaguing our society, right? And we really have to think from a base level standpoint, because the environment affects us chemically, in a sense where what we see, what we hear, our experiences of the outside world affects us, our makeup inside. But we also have to think of how what we consume is actually a basis of what we're actually producing on the outside, right? And what I'm saying by that is understanding that what we're consuming in the form of water, okay? Understanding that the dynamics of water has a chemical effect on us all, right? Because what you consume in your water, that's a chemical bond, and it affects you mentally, being that your brain is 85% water, okay? So one of the major requirements of your body is to make sure that the brain has sufficient amount of water and oxygen, right, into your brain. So when we're talking about mental health, it's not necessarily always looking on the outside. And shouts out really to the therapists that are really doing some groundbreaking work on that level. But we really have to be in tune with what is going into the body and looking at the inside of the body and what you're consuming more so, okay? Because these things are what we all have in common, okay? We may not all grow up in the same environment, grow up with the same parents, grow up in the same line of work, but one thing that we all need that's prevalent on all across the board, no matter who and what you are, is water, okay? Water is the main thing that our bodies actually need to make sure that we are functioning properly. It's the basis of our evolution, right? So if we're not looking at the water itself, the food that we're eating has to have a water content in it, right? So once you start changing the structure of things, you change it with the basis of water, okay? So, this is Chris, the Alkaline Man, Family Springs, and I just really want you guys to understand and think about, on a dynamic level overall, that what I consume, it always goes and dates back to, the old saying, you are what you eat, or let food be thy medicine, but what you drinking, and the content, the heavy content of water that needs to be in those food process, in those food that we're eating, it matters, okay? So you may be what you eat, but you're more so what you drink. All right. Family Springs, the Alkaline Man.